You beat that thing up, you break it, didn't it?
Welcome everybody to June 16th, 2025 committee meetings. Commissioners, if you will please turn your phones off. I encourage everyone to do that. And I also encourage commissioners, please turn your mics on. And I will ask that you speak distinctly into the mic so you can be heard. Start with our committees. First up is the Jail Justice Center Committee. Chairman Tim Horner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll call the Justice Center Public Safety Committee to order. Anyone wishing to address may do so at this time. We have 3 minutes.
I'm Joseph Hahn, 1400 Shinbone Road, Russellville, Tennessee, 37860. On this, in this packet, we're up to $104 million on this jail. And in my personal opinion, if this commission does not provide the funding for this jail to get certified to its higher standard and get the raises needed up for the officers and get the officers in here. You all as a commission are failing Hamblen County. You're failing the citizens in Hamblen County, and also the sheriff, his officers, and protection should be the number one issue with this county. Then infrastructure, then education, and then all the rest that goes with that funds the county. But the sheriff needs the resources to get it to that point. You all knew that when you allocated and voted to build this jail. So now it's time to find a way to fund the money and get the sheriff and get this thing to certified to its highest level that's possible.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Anyone else? Seeing none. Item 3A, old business, there is none. Item 4A, new business, Justice Center project update, Jaron Dolewater.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We'll run you through kind of the progress of where we're at right now. We did a punch walk today, so we had the transitions team on site. I was on site. The architects and various other people with the designer there was on site. Blaine Construction and some of the subcontractors were there as we were doing a punch walk through section C and D, which is the courthouse and office spaces there. These are just some of the pictures that I took as we were walking through today. You can see completed spaces. This is some of the office spaces that's already ready for owners' furniture and things that needs to be set, which is scheduled to start back in August. All the benches have been set. You'll see that in some of these courtrooms here. The jury seating, a view from the judge there. Here's all the benches that have been set. Spaces are done, complete, and we're just walking through and punching out everything that needs to be completed in these spaces. Commissioning is taking place this week. We have an independent commissioning agency to review every system that's out there regarding mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. That's taking place this week. In the jail side, they're still looking to get above ceiling inspections completed to start closing tiles and doing some of the testing and balancing of the mechanical systems in there to finish out the rest of that location. We are looking to finalize towards the end of next month into August, where we'll start moving in all the owners' furniture and getting things set that way. The contractor has 2 months after substantial completion to get it to final completion, which is where we're setting all of our stuff, making sure all of that works. All of our testing, every system will be tested. Everything will be touched, every camera's angle will be viewed, every button will be reviewed on the security side as well. So there will be a substantial amount of testing going on over the next month and a half in this place. I showed pictures on the exterior. They're virtually complete on the outside. They're letting the grass grow right now to get set. And we'll be punching out all of that here shortly as well for the exterior. There's no change orders being presented tonight. We're still in negotiations and finalization of everything on this project. Hoping to finalize most of that over this next month and a half. Right now, we're sitting at $95,038,489.11 for construction, the contract for the contractor on there. And we're still sitting at 98.55% complete of the project overall. If there's any questions or...
I have just a few, please. And I apologize, I won't murder your name. I'll call you sir and take it easier.
Oh, no worries.
I'm sorry, did I get ahead? Did I need to wait, Bobby?
No.
Before I ask, okay.
Yes.
You were looking a little bit straight. I thought maybe I messed up. Well, I've got more than 2 questions. So you're telling me what's left is checking all this, but as far as physically doing, what's left?
What's left to complete?
Yes, sir.
There's still some electrical finalization that's taking place on the jail side, so various levels are complete to a certain degree. They're doing above ceiling inspections on various floors, which will drop ceiling tiles. Then they can test out that system, make sure it's balanced correctly mechanically, finalize paint and any of the other cleanup that needs to be done in those spaces. We'll punch those out when they're complete, and we'll continue to punch out those locations at that time. So
Okay.
different levels are at different levels of completion, and I think they'll be dropping third, second, first, down to level 0 to get all of that done.
Okay, my first question is, when will we, as commissioners, get the chance? Is there any chance we can go through this week to see what's been completed? Since it's been a little while since we've been through there. The last time we were there, if I remember correctly, it was that 14-karat gold door I got all tore up about. It was the high-dollar cookie. That's the reason I called it 14-karat gold. But that was the last one. Is there any chance we'd get to tour it this week?
It's not up to me on setting those schedules, but we'll want to get with the transition team and
Yeah, Jaron, Commissioner, we'll just have to get this, coordinate with the transition team to do that. It's just a spur of the moment. If I'd known you needed a schedule this week, then we would have worked on that. So I'll need to get with them and see if we can set up a date for you.
Let me know. And that's the first question. Second question, our contract attorney for the things that, for lack of a nicer word, that I feel like the architect should have covered because I don't think it was our fault. Where are we at on there?
yeah, we're still in discussions, still in
So,
negotiations. Yes.
no
We're hoping to
progress at this
finalize over
point?
the next couple of months. I'm sorry.
No progress other than finalize it over the next couple of months?
Well, a lot of it's dependent on timing and where the project's at and wanting to get it all finalized. So, but where we're at on the substantial completion, it kind of triggers a lot of what we need to negotiate with all of them, or the contractor and the architects.
So we will not get a report till when?
Until it's done. I don't think we'd want to make that public until we're done negotiating.
Okay, when will you be turning the keys over to the jail to start moving their stuff in, out of
In
curiosity?
August, they'll be moving stuff in. They've already moved in benches, as you can see here.
Yeah.
So they are scheduled, I think, the 1st of August for any of the systems furniture, things like that are going in. All the training will be going on over that 2-month period
Okay.
for finalization, so.
Okay. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Chairman. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Horner. We'll now move to the Finance Committee. Chairman Rodney Long.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Finance Committee to order. Is anyone wishing to address this committee at this time? Seeing none, we will move to item 3, recurring business. Hope you all have had time to go over your expenditure reports and your monthly checks. 4, we have no old business. 5, new business. We will start with 5A, policies and procedures, homeowners rehabilitation program, Hamblen County 2024, East Tennessee Disaster Relief Grant. Is Ms. Mefford here today? Mayor, you want to address?
I was expecting the lady here as well. The only thing that I could really say to this is these are the policies and procedures of the grant that's before you, and they're asking us to accept these if you've looked them over, and then to put them in a resolution that we have accepted them. And it's guidelines from the grant itself of how it be distributed and payback procedures for that. You can look through that and see what you make of it. That's about all I could.
Have we already approved this grant?
As far as yes, we have. We've already accepted to apply for this grant.
And this is for Hurricane Helene. It's for homeowner assistance where they were wiped out, especially on the southeast end of the county. So, and we have, I'm sure we have approved this.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Harville. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Huntsman. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
quick question for the mayor. Who will be handling as far as the applications for this, the distributions, and so forth, sir?
Yes, ma'am. When we passed this, when it came through our commission, or this commission voted to accept this grant, it was approved by the Tennessee Housing Development Agency that will be handling this. It's the county is just having to receive the money, and they are the ones that are actually administering the grant.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to B now, the Resolution 25, the resolution before the County Commission of Hamblen County approving the program, policy, and procedures for the Hamblen County Disaster Relief Program. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Doty. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to 5C, amendment to the retention grant for the post-certified officers of Hamblen. Address from Hamblen County Sheriff Chad Mullins. Sheriff?
This is just an amendment to the grant that this body's already approved to extend it to 2029.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Richardson. I have a second by Mr. Huntsman. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move to 5D, budget amendments, and we'll start with the Hamblen County Board of Education. DI, Hamblen County Board of Education Budget Amendment Number 9. Mr. Ladd?
Good evening. So we have a $0 amendment here. It's basically year-end adjustments. We are removing funds to cover needs, essentially. So the first section is for the SPED preschool grant. We have psych evaluations that we're required to do, so we're just backing money out of supplies and materials to cover the psychs, the contracted psychs. Public school security grant, that is just an accounting function, bookkeeping from the state. They changed the account that would normally hit, the expense account. So that's just a true up to get with the state. For summer school, we've added 2 additional teachers and 1 teacher assistant. This was due to additional attendance of the summer school, and I guess there were some kids that needed more assistance than others. So just to cover those kids. The next section is related to a staff change. When the budget was made last year, the CTE director that was there, I guess, maybe wasn't as experienced or educated as the new one. So that position cost us more than what we had initially budgeted. So we're just moving monies to cover that salary. The next section is similar. The decision was made last year to move some teacher assistants into secretary codes. When the budget was made, we didn't have those people identified, so they were budgeted as teacher assistants. Through the year, we identified them, and it's just moving the salary over where it should be. And finally, amendment to cover additional driver pay. Sometimes it's hard to budget for school bus drivers, field trips, and sporting events. On top of that, a lot of our drivers are already employees of the system, so they end up with some overtime and such that's hard to predict. Any questions?
All of these are just moving money?
Yeah, just moving money. There's no change, just bucket changes.
Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Doty. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Ladd.
Thank y'all.
We'll go to item 2, Fund 101. Ms. Hale.
Good evening. So our budget amendment is very much like Jared's. It's the end of the year. We're using cleanup time between all of our departments in the county and the general fund. Several pages of this varying from increasing in postal charges to some medical insurance, but mainly getting all the accounts hopefully squared away for the end of the year. So the first one you have before you is all general fund related, no change in fund balance, just moving between various departments.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Richardson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Reed. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Move to number 3.
This budget amendment is still to do with general fund, but recognizing some grant revenue that we've received this year that had not been previously budgeted for VCIF and the TCI grant that the Sheriff's Department does, and then SAMHSA that the drug court does, and then the grant related to the food insecurity grant. So again, no change in fund balance, just recognizing expenses and offsetting revenue.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Harville. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Doty. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 4.
This budget amendment is for the drug control fund. 10, it's recognizing some revenue that we received from the VCIF grant and the offsetting expenses that go with that.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Huntsman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who was, second by Mr. Doty. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5.
The next budget amendment is for Fund 128, the Drug Use Abatement Fund. This is to budget money that Commission has already approved for different projects out of the opioid money. And again, it's just to clear things up for the end of the year, recognize those expenses that were previously approved.
Do I have a motion? Mr. Huntsman, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Howe. Any discussion?
Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Miss Amanda, first, thank you for sending me the information. It was greatly appreciated. Second of all, the opioid abatement, and just refresh my memory, this is the one with the rest of the ambulance pay plus otherwise, right?
That's where we pay, yes.
That's what I was wondering. I just wanted to make sure I was right. Thank you, dear.
Is there any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6.
The next budget amendment is for the General Debt Service Fund. Last year, after the budget passed, we issued debt for the school for the classroom enclosure project. And this budget amendment recognizes that principal and interest expense that wasn't budgeted back during last year's budget process.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Who?
Carden.
Thank you. First by Mr. Carden. Do I have a second?
I don't know that he's on that committee, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yep, just noticed that. Do I have a first?
I'll make a motion, sir.
Second.
Mr. Doty, second by Mr. Harville. Any other questions?
Oh, let's see. I'm sorry, yeah.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Budget amendment before you is in Fund 154, so that's our special debt service fund. If you remember back when we went through the budget this year, county audit asked us to move out the debt associated with landfill bonds. So this is the special debt service fund and recognizes the principal and interest that we've paid on the landfill's debt this year. But the offset to this expense is the revenue where the landfill will reimburse us for all those funds. So it's just a wash.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Richardson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next budget amendment before you is for Fund 176, Highway Capital Projects. This is to recognize some additional trustee commission and then the spring paving projects that you all have already approved. Again, just budgeting for what was already approved.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Huntsman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Doty.
Second by Mr. Doty. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I abstain with cause.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Next budget amendment is in Fund 116, Solid Waste Sanitation Fund. This is an end of year, just reallocating some money within the lines. We are using $64,050 out of fund balance on this one because the majority of this is an increase of $100,000 in disposal fees. We're not sure exactly when we're going to get an invoice from the city for possible lien damages, disposal fees. So just in case we get that before the end of the year, I've gone ahead and budgeted it.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Harville, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any other questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I abstain because.
Motion carries.
And the last budget amendment before you is for Fund 131 Highway Department, and again, just end of year, moving some money around to clean up things, and again, it's coming out of medical insurance that was over budgeted, so no change in fund balance.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Huntsman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I abstain with cause.
Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Hill. We'll go to 5E, pharmacy coverage change. Mr. Mayor, can you enlighten us?
Yes, back in July, this commission voted to approve a change from Blue Cross Blue Shield at that time to Save RX, and that was recommended at that time by our benefit consultant, which was Cheryl Morgan. Since that time, Mark III has taken over, and they have been in negotiations with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it is discovered that there is a proposal that we switch back to Blue Cross Blue Shield as our county pharmacy program provider with savings. And there's some representatives here from Mark III that I'd like to invite to the podium maybe and take a few questions for you, if you will. And if you gentlemen don't mind to introduce yourselves and give a little background information as to why we're where we're at.
Brad Easterling with Mark III.
And I'm John Manful with Mark III. So again, we appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you tonight. Mayor, thank you, and many members, thank you for allowing us to be here. The mayor spoke clearly on that. Previously, the county decided to make a move away from Blue Cross, carve out the pharmacy with Save RX. It was a company that had more of a relationship with your prior consultant. We've been able to negotiate with Blue Cross of Tennessee based on our book of business in Tennessee. So we represent and do the consulting for City of Morristown, for City of Johnson City, and Kingsport. With that, we were able to negotiate some leverage to where we could get richer discounts with the contracts with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee and richer rebates on your pharmaceutical drugs. And so when we looked at your spend for the last calendar year of 2024, the spend on pharmacy was just under $1.3 million. And so Blue Cross estimated their rebates coming back to the county to be about $608,000. During that same period of time, Save RX had about $380,000 in rebates coming back again to the county. And so we wanted to do our due diligence to take a look at what is best in the best interest of the county. And so by doing so, again, even if the discounts going forward are not quite as rich, it's still a significant savings to the county, and we want to make sure that that money stays here. There'll be very little transition moving back to Blue Cross Blue Shield from Save RX. One of the other things that was really important was from the administrative standpoint, you have a $6.50 integration fee to carve out your pharmacy from Blue Cross to Save RX. So that's costing the county a little over $25,000 just in fees to have an outside party. So that's money that will also be saved and retained. And the members will use the one ID card with Blue Cross Blue Shield for the medical purposes as well as pharmacy. So from that administrative standpoint, a reporting perspective, efficiency, again, we thought that was the best move in the best interest of the county to make that transition back to Blue Cross Blue Shield on July the 1st of this year.
Any questions? And it will not be a problem switching it for the employees.
Great question. That's correct. So we're already in negotiations with Blue Cross Blue Shield and getting files from Save RX of the medications that all the members are on right now. If they had to have a prior authorization about specific medications, we've already been in contact with them to make sure that that transitions smoothly for everyone and not to have any disruption in their particular prescriptions.
Any other questions? Mr. Neesmith?
Will the employees be coming and meeting with you and going over all their requirements of the drugs they need?
They will not be meeting in particular directly with us. We'll be communicating with them about the transition. That's going to happen here probably within the next few days if this is approved.
So this comes in effect July the 1st?
July the 1st. So we will have as much communication go out to the members as possible from the HR staff, from Wendy's office, and then also in conjunction with Amanda's office and finance.
I know the way my schedule is, I've got to go in for blood work and all that before I can get my 6 months supply. But I've got some medication that the doctors take me off of, so I don't need that drugs to keep coming down there, and if I'm not taking them anymore, so. And it's been a good transition for me working with this other company. I don't know about yours, but I mean, it's worked good. I mean, we don't spend much time down there. When you go in, they get you in, get you out. I guess everything's gonna stay the same with, like you were before.
Absolutely, yeah. So you'll have the same, hopefully, member experience when you're going to the clinic here for the county, as well as getting in at retail or mail order, specialty medications that anybody's on. We want you to have a great experience in picking up those medications.
I know before, the only problem I ever saw with it is getting your first initial meeting together. You had it scheduled, you had to call Nashville to get it. Now, all we have to do is go down there and ask them, and they see you next Tuesday. I didn't know if yours is gonna be that smooth or not.
That will continue. That's not going to change, and so we want to make sure there's no disruption on that whatsoever.
There'll be new employees down there,
I'm sorry?
new employees running the clinic.
That would be a question, I think, for Wendy and her staff. As far as I've heard, there's no disruption at all. This has nothing to do with the clinic.
You know, it's just.
Mr. Neesmith, what all they're doing is the pharmacy part of this. Everything else stays exactly the same. This is just the pharmacy benefit part of it, not.
Okay, I see that, but I wanted to ask about the employees too.
That doesn't change. Nothing else changes.
That was all right. Okay, yours is just to buy the medication. We're gonna get that through Blue Cross Blue Shield.
That's correct, yes, sir.
And then you distribute it through whoever we've got down there running.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Howe?
It remind me, is the employee health clinic will be at the health department in the Oak Tree, will it?
No, not at this point. We would like to see that happen, but at this point, there's a location next to Tom Straight's Insurance there on West AJ. Okay, we would love to see that relocate to our new Oak Tree Plaza at some point. We'll have to get the city to work with us on that location.
Okay.
Do I have a motion? Motion. Motion by Mr. Richardson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Howe. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll look at item 5, 6 is items of interest, the Planning Commission building permits, attorney invoices, trustee report, Department of Education expenditures. Hope you all have time to look over them. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have this time.
Thank you, Chairman Long. Moving on to the Personnel Committee, Chairman Thomas Doty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Personnel Committee meeting to order. Is there anyone wishing to address this committee? You may do so now. Seeing none, we'll move forward. Old business, we have none. New business. Item 4A, approval of longevity pay submissions, and we have 7 associates that have achieved those years of service. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Harville. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
It's okay.
Aye.
Hammer it if you got.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Doty. Moving on now to the Real Estate Committee, I'll call on Chairman Mike Reed.
Call the Real Estate Committee,
Use your mic.
looking Here, let's see.
Mike, yeah, microphone.
Mike.
Oh. Anyone wishing to speak to the committee, you have 3 minutes to do so. Seeing none, under new business, we have the August tax sale list. Scotty Long was supposed to be here.
Yes, sir. What you have before you is the delinquent tax list that has been vetted and is before you today to present as for a tax sale. These items are all there. I'm sure adequate time has been given and notification to these owners.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve.
Got a motion to approve. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second. Rodney Long made the motion. Mr. Richardson seconded. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Reed. Move now to the Calendar and Rules Committee, and Chairman Thomas Doe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Calendar and Rules Committee meeting to order. Any visitors wishing to address this committee may do so now. Seeing none, we'll move forward. Item 3, old business, we have none. Item 4, new business. 4A is review of the regular calendar items. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4B is review of the consent calendar items. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Doughty. That concludes our committee. You have something?
Mr. Chairman, bulk waste really hasn't been on our agenda in the last few months, and Laura Williams is here. She would like to address this body.
Ms. Williams, you'll stand to the podium. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you.
Laura Williams, 1160 Woodwind Drive in Talbot. So I just wanted to address the bulk waste once again because of my concern for it. It's my understanding that the original intent was for brush removal only several years ago. And so now we have a situation where it's gone far beyond that, and people are have been putting out their junk for the county to remove. And in my opinion, it's not the county's responsibility to get rid of people's junk. It's their own responsibility. And so what that's done, it's enabled a situation where the county appears junky. And I really think it's fostered a disrespect for our neighborhoods and our community. Because you see people, if people see junk everywhere, they're just not going to care. It's just it just perpetuates that attitude. And so I feel very passionate about this. I think that we need to get back to the original intent. And so my proposal is that in next year's tax notice, just notify it. Just give everybody a notification in the county that the county will no longer be providing services of picking up junk. We're going to go back to just picking up brush. And that way, you're not paying any extra money to get the message out to people. You're sending tax notices out to us anyway, and you're notifying everybody of the plans to just get a handle on it, because obviously the department, the bulk waste department cannot keep up with what people are putting out there. And it's not, I just don't think it's the county's responsibility to pick up junk. So that's what I wanted to say, and I hope we can move forward on this and get really serious about it, because we have a beautiful county. Let's keep it, let's get it back to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. As I was saying, that's a lot to swallow right there, right off, but I get where you're coming from. That concludes our committees
Chairman
tonight.
Hahn.
All the
May I ask a question, please, sir?
Yes, please.
Just one remark. I had submitted a record request for emails from Mayor Britton and former Mayor Britton and current Mayor Cutshack. There was a limited number of them. I honestly feel like when I provide the date of each one, and it was a little bit under 12, that 30 days is ridiculous to get an answer back.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, darling.
We don't need the darling.
Believe me, I've been...
Say that for my wife.
She probably thinks it.
Do want to address Mr. Hahn's concern over the jail. It's good points he brought up. We are funding that. The funding for the jail has been taken care of. As far as the officers, their pay and the certification, don't sweat that. We've got that taken care of. Everything's in the works. Putting everybody in place and taking care of that. So in a couple of months, we will have a nice certified jail. But I do appreciate your concern and your questions. Anyone else have anything? All minds clear? Stand adjourned.